You would think mass media would be doing gangbusters right now when it comes to coverage, wall to wall screaming about how the orange man is cometh once again, and people don't understand how stupid they are thanks to those illiterate, inbred, hillbilly white guys that voted for this guy because they are just out there voting against their best interests. They're all just caught up in this cult of personality. How could we ever allow them to voice their opinions? They didn't vote correctly. Oh, it's almost like they doubled down on doing that stuff, and now people are totally sick and tired of hearing that stuff. Okay, that's why MSNBC is on the verge of collapse, on the verge of being sold off, because their ratings plunge after Trump election victory as more than half of primetime audiences flee. Yeah, because everybody's seen the highlight reel of Joe Scarborough freak out, Joy Reid lose her, I use that term very liberally, her mind, Rachel Maddow. See my previous comment about RuPaul's Michael Clark Duncan. It's like, outside of just simple schadenfreude viewing, why would anybody tune into MSNBC, right? And at this point in time, we're getting to a revelation for a large majority of people that they aren't tuning into cable news at all, really, anymore. MSNBC's primetime viewership plunged 54% in the days after the Trump victory as the network's audience turned away from its left-leaning coverage. According to a report, Comcast-owned cable news channel, which drew a daily average of 1.1 million viewers throughout October, saw its audience shrink. Imagine that, in the lead-up to the election, you could only do a 1.1? Bro, that's abysmal. Saw its audience shrink to a daily average of 736,000 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after Election Day. Wow. According to Nielsen Media Research, reported by Fox News, that amounted to a 31% drop following Trump's decisive victory, which he swept the popular vote, all 7 key swing states, the House, the Senate. He got a full and total mandate to enact the America First agenda. And even if they were covering all of these announced appointments, which I just did a video on that stuff, you can check that out. You can even counter-program that by pointing out for the likes of Marco Rubio has double-crossed Trump in the past, so why is he giving him Secretary of State post? Or, I don't know, run your same old propaganda about how John Radcliffe is he's a Russia hoax denier, he's a Putin puppet or something like that. People aren't even tuning in for that. That's crazy. Meanwhile, Fox News ratings surged a whopping 61% during the same period. So yeah, this is an exclusive left-wing type of thing. MSNBC was hit hardest during the primetime hours of 8 and 11 p.m. Viewership for its primetime shows, including Alex Wagner Tonight, All In with Chris Hayes, The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, dropped 54% to 808,000 according to Nielsen data. That's after the network averaged 1.8 million viewers in the coveted time slot through October. But you might see from the little tabs below that there are some hard realities that these outlets are going to have to reconcile with, otherwise they're going to be going down with the ship. At this point in time, though, I don't really know if they have enough lead to course correct, because you're going to have CNN. I think they're just, here's the thing, man. Like, I heard some people opine that, okay, cool, after all these layoffs, like CNN will axe top stars and layoffs. It'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank, right? Like, they've got the little infographic here that Anderson Cooper, take home $20 million. Caitlin Collins and the rest of the hacks that are out there, but we'll go through that in a second. Yeah, Caitlin Collins gets 3 bills. Aaron Burnett gets 6. For what? They don't draw any viewership. And here's the thing, right? Like, if they all get axed, okay, if Anderson Cooper just finds himself unemployed for the first time in a very long time, decades at this point, and he wants to get into podcasting or some goofy stuff like that, he'll get a little bump for a minute. But a lot of these people, they're just empty suits. Like, they're just going to parrot whatever points are in front of them on the teleprompter. Natural charisma, and it ain't really going to cut it for them. But we also have to take into account, you got Google behind them, okay? Theoretically speaking. Or if they just go strictly podcasting, they're going to have Apple behind them. They're going to be the authoritative sources that are going to come over, and that they're going to add sensibility and accountability to the independent space. So they're going to be getting preferential treatment. I mean, who actually interacts with any of these Fox News, CNN, MSNBC clips that pop up underneath any one of my random politics-related videos? Like I'll see, like, if I got a fresh, I just completely wipe my search and watch history on YouTube, and then I pull up a politics video or something like that on my channel, the recommended videos underneath of it, it's all the establishment outlets. Like you got CTV, CBC, Fox News, everything that's under that. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I can see why it's been so tough. And it was so hard trudging for years for me on social media. Just think about this. When it gets even more diluted, and that because YouTube wanting to clean up its image to get a little bit more air of legitimacy, because they've been planning. This cable news has been planning their exit strategy for a long time to simply assimilate another medium, and that's going to be YouTube. YouTube Red from a decade ago, that was the test pilot to try to inject some cash, to try to get more Hollywood stars, more of their bigger names, to get a bigger persona, to have higher production values. And they ended up creating from what I hear, a pretty decent show in Cobra Kai. But outside of that, it was just still a little bit too early, because didn't that launch in like 2014 or something like that? It might have been a little bit earlier than that, but that was prior to the ascension of Trump and mass media collectively losing their mind. But they'll try that again. Because as doors close in cable news and traditional broadcast means, a window opens with the biggest streaming platform out there and YouTube more than willing to bend over and grab their ankles for higher marketing budget. If they can go ahead and sanitize themselves for what they consider to be the most problematic corner of their platform, you bet your sweet ass are going to take that money. But that's another topic we can discuss in further detail at a later date. Let's laugh at how bad CNN is also doing in conjunction with MSNBC. CNN is planning to wield the axe on some of its highest paid staff after dismal election ratings that cap off a disastrous period for the cable news network, according to an explosive new report from Puck. Who's Puck? Network executives will unleash sweeping layoffs in a bid to save the network's flailing reputation. Comes after the departure of stalwart Chris Wallace. Oh, really? Funny, because he was supposed to be the face to launch CNN Plus. Remember that? Concord was the only thing that was killed off faster than CNN Plus because nobody wanted to pay for their shitty exclusive content. But yeah, Chris Wallace he's out of there. That's crazy. Amid reports, senior stars like Wolf Blitzer, oh no, and Jake Tapper have both been denied raises. That's crazy. Like Jake Tapper, he's him over there at CNN. Don't really know what that amounts to in today's day and age. And Wolf Blitzer, like bro, he's been there since day one. Like his employee ID is probably like, number 2 after the Ted Turner, for Christ's sakes. Like he's been there forever. There's no mention of who may be on the chopping block. Highest paid stars include Anderson Cooper, who takes $20 million a year, hasn't earned that in a very long time. Aaron Burnett, yes, at 6 bells, and rising star Caitlin, resting bitchface Collins at 3 and a bit. Like, it's crazy. It kind of is. To think that this could be the last full calendar year that CNN has been opened. I don't think anybody's going to miss it. In the next few months, I'm told CNN will implement another round of layoffs that will impact hundreds of employees across the organization. Reporter Dylan Byers wrote Friday, referencing CNN's recent 100-person layoff seen over the summer. Fresh round of firings, the insider said, will be more geared towards the production side of things. Okay. As a result, reporters and correspondents will be required to cover their slack, they said, describing how on-air works, and will be asked to assume more of the responsibilities once handled by teams of producers and production assistants. So they'll actually have to write their monologues. They'll have to maybe apply their own makeup before they hit the set. Like they'll actually have to take a vested interest into their production. This is crazy, man. But this isn't the only mass media outlet that might go through another round of layoffs. But as you've seen before, like they've been through this stuff. They went through this stuff because they've seen their ratings flail, because they knew that they sold their credibility downstream a long time ago. And what ended up happening? They continued to double down, get further and further in bed with the Democrats. And now, well, they're reaping those benefits. At a point in time when anti-Trump, anti-conservative wants and desires should theoretically be higher than ever, you can't attract an audience, okay? This is also tangential, but you have some of the bigger lefty streamers that are out there, the likes of Kyle Kalinske, David Pakman. Now they're complaining about, I've lost 10,000 subs. I don't know what to do. What are we going to do out here? It's maybe because your ideas aren't popular anymore. Maybe there's a reason people are waking up realizing, you're lying to me. I don't like to be lied to, so I'm going to go over here and source my own information. So best luck to you, deuces. You sold me a bill of goods for the past 4 years, and that ain't it anymore. That's what a lot of the younger people are doing when it comes to social media, and those pundits and what a bunch of boomers out here that would be normal CNN and MSNBC consumers are doing. They're going, yeah, you know what? If I'm going to get my news somewhere, I'll at least go and see what the quote-unquote enemies are talking about over at Fox News. Spoiler, they all go to the same parties and they all think exactly the same way. Or perhaps they'll just go source their information elsewhere, which is fantastic stuff. It really is. But are they going to learn from this? Absolutely not. We're just seeing the beginnings of a lot of different industries enter their final stages of life. They're entering palliative care. They're cozying right up next to Jimmy Carter out there in the hospice, waiting for somebody to finally pull the plug. Kind of like what's happening over at Disney, because apparently, okay, and I believe this about as much as I believe Kathleen Kennedy is going to get fired any day now, guys. Trust me, bro. I heard her contract's going to be up, and you know what? Reports are saying that, Bob Iger is finally fed up and he's kicked the bitch to the curb. But I guess this time around, what is it? Mickey Mouse grabbed him by his collar and his shorts and gave him the old hee-haw out the front door. Well, I guess he's going to be doing that in 2026, and they're going to be replacing him. Somebody is equally as ideologically driven, which kind of shows you just there's absolutely no plans in place over at Disney, because Disney expands CEO search to outside candidates, including EA's Andrew Wilson. I mean, bro, he would have been a prime candidate about a decade ago, back when EA was, they were the big bad empire of gaming, but he makes sense from a dollars and cents perspective, but EA has really fallen off in recent years. There was a point in time where, they were buying up studios and cranking out all of the biggest games of the year, but now it's like, without the NFL license, you wouldn't have jack shit. Hell, your sports games in general, because you have a pseudo monopoly on that. But when it comes to innovative gameplay, like when was the last time a Battlefield game really hit like that? Sitting on the Titanfall IP when people are begging for a third, but don't worry about that. You can go ahead and milk Apex Legends. And do we even need to talk about BioWare and what they've been doing recently? Yeah, exactly. So why on earth would this guy be considered the successor to one of the biggest duds that Disney has ever had for a CEO? Oh, it's because all of these big legacy media outlets, they never learn. I'm shocked. Disney's board is said to expects to announce a CEO successor to Bob Iger in early 2026. Oh, okay, cool. Giving themselves a lot of lead time on this one, hey? But the guessing game about who will take the throne of the Magic Kingdom is already well underway. The media company and listed headhunter firm Hendrick and Struggles. That's a real place, huh? You got a headhunter firm called Struggles? Yo. At least it's not Struggles and Snuggles. To vet candidates outside Disney, and the firm has identified 3 potential candidates, including, Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson. Wall Street Journal reported, citing anonymous sources, Variety confirmed EA's Wilson is in the mix. But it remains very, very early in the process. Reps for Disney and EA declined to comment. Because if they're going to be making an announcement and coming to a conclusion sometime about this point next year, what shape is EA going to look like? Because as bad as things are looking for Disney, especially over the holidays, it's like Moana 2 is probably going to make a bunch of money, but Mufasa, and then following that up in the beginning of the new year with the Snow White live action remake, I mean, bro, things are going to look pretty bad for Disney. And then when it comes to EA, they've got to reconcile what they're going to do with BioWare, arguably their crown jewel studio outside of whoever's working on Battlefield at this point in time. So we could have some of the biggest names in news and entertainment kicking off 2025 without a captain and sailing rudderless ships. The crazy time to be alive. And just think about it. All of these outlets are just completely and totally flying by the seat of their pants. And Trump is still 10 weeks away from inauguration. It's going to be a great 4 years, guys. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.